I think we're live, but let's check. Okay. I've just accepted that the introductions to these live events is never going to be smooth. Hi, Tara.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it
Okay.
So we're live.
Well.
We're live.
Yes. Yes, we are live right now. And I was just saying, I don't think I've ever had a smooth, press go live and then everybody is ready. I think, yes, it looks like we're live. So we can just wait a few more minutes and see if Tamarind joins us. And then if you wanted to change your name under your little screen so people know who you are, we have Lynsdey. And then Tara, your name is all one word, which is fine. Oh, Tamarind says she's trying to get this to work. That's okay. I will let her know we invited Tara. And I'll let her know to come when she's ready. We've all had the technical difficulties with Zoom, I'm sure, over the course of the past several months. Okay, so I'll do the introductions twice, maybe. So hi, everybody. I'm Jessica Knipp, and I am a lifestyle, family, and newborn photographer in Toronto. And I'm here connecting with Lynsdey Thomas of Elle Marie Photography in Whitby, Ontario. Award-winning photographer, Lynsdey Thomas, and accredited photographer with APNPI, and new member to APNPI, Tara Graham of TaraGrahamPhoto.com. I think I got that right?
Nice.
And she literally just jumped on, I was told, put on a shirt and jumped on because
actually still wearing pajama bottoms.
Tamarind was having some technical difficulties. So thank you so much, Tara, for being so flexible. And she's also a amazing newborn and family photographer are you in Whitby too?
Close, I'm in Oshawa.
Tara?
I'm in Oshawa.
In Oshawa, Ontario. So Oshawa, Ontario. So lots of all Ontario photographers today. And Tamara, just got a message from Tamarind. She is downloading Zoom. So she'll be joining us later. All right. So do you want to start? Should we start? Everybody good? All right. So we are catching up with everybody. The last time I spoke with Lynsdey and Tamarind was back in late March when we didn't really know what was going to happen with businesses and COVID. We were right at the beginning and we were all thinking, okay, looks like we should close. I don't know if we were mandated to close at that point. I don't even remember. Maybe we were mandated to close at that point. Stage 1 had started maybe in March.
Yeah, I think here in Ontario, we were mandated to be closed. There was still some gray area. We weren't sure if we were allowed to be doing anything or not, but yeah, we had no idea what we were in for.
No. And we had talked about in our previous discussion what we had planned to do in our downtime, what new things we were going to learn or implement when we reopened. So yeah, how's it going now? Let's just start there. How is business? Are you open? Are you not open yet?
Yeah. So I'll start.
Okay.
So I don't know if I said this last time, but so I actually have a commercial studio space outside of my home that obviously I have to pay rent on. And so I am back open. I am limiting sessions, but I am booking the time slots I do have available. I'm booking well. I have a lot of safety protocols in place, so everything takes longer and all of that, but that's okay. So yeah, I am back open. I'm trying to do more outdoor stuff, but my studio is open and I am photographing newborns in the way that I was before. but obviously with more safety protocols in place. So that's been going well. Like, I won't lie, the first couple were, it's the unknown and how were clients going to react to the new protocols and all this stuff. But it's been going well. Everyone, for the most part, everyone's been really understanding and following all the rules, and just thankful to be able to get photos of their newborns, and so it's been going well. Yeah.
Tara?
So I have not opened my studio. It's in my home. And I figured while the weather is good, I'm just going to take advantage and do everything outside. So all my newborn sessions, family sessions, everything is happening outdoors. And people have been really receptive to that. And basically I'm posing the baby still, but I'm doing like family shots from a distance and then masking up, doing a quick wrap of baby, just using simple props, a basket or a bowl, just in the grass, and photographing them that way. So it's been working out really well. I'm like totally loving the images that are coming out of the outdoor newborn sessions, and keep saying that I'm going to have to move come November because I just love shooting outside now. I don't want to work in the studio.
I wish we could share some of them here, because I've seen your posed newborn photos outdoors and they're stunning. Yes, you should all if you're watching, head over to Telegram's website or Instagram. I don't know where you post more
Instagram's
on.
probably easiest. So Telegram photo on Instagram.
Oh, hello.
I got it! Yeah! So sorry. Oh my God.
It's the COVID reality.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Are you okay to join in now?
Yes.
You need a few minutes?
No, I'm
okay.
Good. I may have to make my kids some lunch on the fly, but that's okay.
That's okay. This is casual. We're just casual. It's a casual chat. So we have Tamarind Spender joining us, and she is one of the two that we're catching up with, who we talked to before in March. And Tamarind, we have Tara Graham here, who is also, if you don't know her, an Ontario newborn and family photographer. And she's just been sharing that she's been doing a lot of, actually only outdoor sessions.
Awesome.
Far. And the question was, how is business going now that you're reopened? Are you reopened? And if you are, is anything different? And what's how are you proceeding?
Okay, yes, I am open. I was allowed to open as of June 12th in my city, so that was great. I'm a rule follower, so I have been taking all the necessary precautions to keep myself and my clients safe. My city, I think, was one of the first to make masks mandatory in all commercial settings. Now, I don't have a commercial studio, but that was a really good excuse for me to just make them mandatory. Which makes me safer and my clients safer and all of those things. So yeah, I spent many weeks, I think I've almost finally caught up in all the backlog from sessions that had to be put off for 3 months.
Yes.
So that's been nice to kind of get those off my plate. And I'm so thankful that there were so many clients that were very patient. So that was great. What was the rest of the question?
Yes. So you're doing, I know you're primarily a studio photographer, so you've returned to studio photography with newborns?
I have, yes. I didn't do newborns for the first few weeks. The first couple sessions I had were older children. I obviously kept as much distance from them as humanly possible. The parents were great and have always worn masks in the studio, and the children as well, unless I'm photographing them. So I have a little area right by where I shoot that they can just set their mask down and then put it back on as needed. And then, yeah, eventually once I kind of got more comfortable with that, I decided that it was okay, it was okay to do newborn. And I've also been getting myself frequently checked for COVID just to be safe. I just had my third test this past Sunday. So I'm doing it to be cautious, because I think that's, for me, that's the most responsible thing to do. as well as wearing surgical masks. I do have an N95 that fits my face, so I have worn that a couple times for a couple of newborn sessions, not all of them, but ones that I've felt have been more like
protective or
yeah,
effective?
I had one that they were born really early. There was a set of twins that were born in like April and were in the hospital for a long time, and it just felt like the right thing to do to wear a really serious mask to protect them as well as myself. And then the last newborn I had, I think, was like 7 days. So again, pretty fresh. So I thought, I'm just gonna throw on the N95 and just be really safe on both ends about that. So
yes, the mask wearing has been not a big deal personally that I've found.
Yeah.
People are quite willing and wanting to wear a mask when it's not their turn, I've found. And I haven't had a problem wearing, although I did find the cotton ones just personally to be really hot. So I do find those surgical style ones to be much cooler. And that's just what I've found.
They're so much better. And I actually found, and people may have seen it, but there's like a little trick to actually make it a little bit more snug on your face. Because the only thing I don't like about the surgical ones is there's a lot of air flow out the sides and up here a little bit as well. I have a small head though. But yeah, there's a little trick. I think I'm going to do a video and post it on my page anyways, so I can always post it in the group as well.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the one with the two little knots?
Yeah, you fold it.
Yes.
Yeah, do you do that?
No, my head is very big.
Okay, well there you go. Only for small-headed people.
Yes. So yeah, it's hard to find a mask that's not too tight because I have a very round head.
It's a beautiful round head.
How about the two other ladies, Lynsdey, Tara? Any pushback on the mask wearing or?
Yeah, no. I found most of the clients that I've been working with are actually like they're very thankful for all of the protocols I have in place, which does include masks. Sounds like very similar to what Tamarind has in place. I've had more conversations with clients like beforehand, like getting on the phone, and they want to talk about like what are the safety protocols you're following, like how are we all going to stay safe. So they're wanting that. They're wanting to hear about it, and they're wanting to follow through with it at the session. So I haven't had any problems. I personally have not had problems wearing a mask. I don't know. I run hot all the time, so I don't notice. Like I don't feel anything excessive. So yeah, it hasn't been a problem. And if anything, it's my clients are thankful for all of the extra safety measures and things like that.
Cool. Tara?
And for me, with being outside, my clients aren't wearing masks at all. It's just me if I'm getting close. And the first couple of newborn sessions that I did outside, I had said to the clients that I was going to drop off a bundle of stuff for them, and they would be the ones wrapping the baby. And they were very hesitant to say anything, but they actually wanted me to pose the baby. They were like, we don't feel comfortable with this. I'm so glad that you offered to like put on a mask and do it for us because we don't know what we're doing. So I started out being overly cautious, and then I was like, well, I'm probably going to be within that 6 feet photographing the baby anyways. So why don't I just, put the mask on, do a quick simple wrap, and then I'll be able to have it look the way that I want it, which saves me on editing time. And also the parents are much less stressed because they're not trying to wrap their baby in ways that they've never done before and try and make it look good while I'm standing there watching them. So once I offered that, like, hey, I can do this for you if you want me to. If you don't want me to, that's fine too. But they were like, yes, please do it for us.
Yes. I've been finding that too. And maybe it's the type of people who want photos and are booking with all of us now are the less nervous type, maybe because they're coming in for us stage 2. Because I've also found that, yes, they're appreciative of all the protective measures, but they're actually not really asking unless I ask first. Like they just want their photos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, thanks for being safe. But I mean, their priority is the photos. So I feel like I have to be safe for them. That's what I've been finding.
I'm noticing the same. I did have one family that was, it wasn't a newborn, it was a different session, but I did have to ask one of the parents frequently to pull the mask up over the nose, and put it back on a couple times. So that pushed my buttons. I don't do well in those situations. I can come off very, my space, my rules, my safety and other client safety. I don't know. There's so many things involved that, but yeah, luckily everyone's been pretty good. And I do the same. I actually send my clients, I made a, like a, what I'm doing to keep you safe kind of thing. And then I send it to them and I make them sign off that they've read it, whether they do or not, that's up to them. It's not very long. It's got pretty graphics and stuff. But,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have my clients have to initial every single point on my safety protocol sheet. So I mean, I guess they could not read it, but they have to initial every single spot on it because, I want to make sure we're on the same page because it's for both of our safety. It's not just the baby, but me as well.
Yes.
Well, and then the other clients that you're going to see after them and your family, like there's so many things, right? It's just like a big domino effect. So
yeah.
Yes, that's something new I think that many people have done, including myself, is the same day symptom screening checklist or initial. Have you all been doing that too?
Yeah, I have a health screen that goes out the same day, or they have to fill it out within 24 hours of their session, and send that back also. Yeah.
I don't, but I do have, I take my own temperature.
Yeah.
Not that I don't expect clients to be honest, but to some degree, I feel like, especially for a newborn, if I give them something else to fill out, it's going to, for me, it would get a little bit much because I already sent them a contract. And then I have also sending out like a release form basically that says that you are aware that by coming into my studio, there is a risk involved. However, we will all do everything that we can to keep each other safe, but you have to acknowledge that there is a risk. So that's kind of what I do.
Yes.
And also on the contract, I've added stuff about like, I will not attend the session if I have any symptoms, those kinds of things. So kind of similar, but I do think the screening is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely Robin. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, it is a lot of extra paperwork. And every time I'm like, sorry to be sending you another thing. I know it's a lot and I kind of joke about it, but so far no one's really complained and everyone's filled it all out. I keep, my workflow feels so messed up right now because there's all these extra forms to send. I feel much more like, am I forgetting to send this or that, or have they done the questionnaire, like just my standard questionnaire yet? Like I feel a little bit all over the place because it does feel like a lot of extra, but for now I'm doing all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'll all get used to it over time because it's all new.
I think too, like, I don't know, personally as a client, I would feel better if a photographer was being like overly cautious. Like if I had to fill out 5 different forms just because the photographer was being overly cautious, I'd probably prefer that to like somebody who's like, oh, I don't know, just bring some cash and show up when you want and not wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, know what you do on your off time. Like, are you walking around licking grocery store shelves? Like, I don't know. So I think it just says a lot about how cautious you are probably being when you're not photographing, which then keeps, I mean, that's just my thoughts. But
how about you, Tara? Have your clients been receiving all the, changes to paperwork well?
I haven't implemented a 24-hour thing. I just added it to my contract that they are notify me if anybody has any symptoms at any point before or after their session. And obviously I would do the same for them. So no pushback. It's all just part of the regular contract.
Wonderful.
I'm feeling like maybe I should implement the 24-hour thing, but I also see like our numbers in Durham going down. If I was working closer to the city or somewhere that the numbers were a bit higher, then I would probably be taking extra steps towards just ensuring that there were no symptoms and everybody's signing off on that. But I feel pretty comfortable where we are right now with our numbers in Durham region. All my clients are in Durham. So I haven't felt the need to implement that next step yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
and you're doing outside, so I think that's a little more reasonable. But the reason that I am doing the 24-hour check is more so for the people coming into my studio, because I just feel like there's so much more risk of contamination there. So
yes, that was one of my questions. I know all of us here have home studios. So with the exception of Tara, who hasn't started the indoor photography yet, how are you feeling, or how's your family feeling with people coming into the home that aren't part of your family or your bubble? Pretty okay?
Well, mine's not actually in the home. Mine's out of the home. So
okay. Or
yeah.
So it's you and me.
Yeah.
I end up kind of locking my daughter in my bedroom. So mine's in the basement, so they don't really come into the main part of the house. Unfortunately, though, I don't have a bathroom down there, which is on my to-do list. Unfortunately, financial hit this year, like with everybody, so I'm not sure if it'll happen this year, but so they would have to come upstairs to use the bathroom. Luckily, nobody has yet, so I'm very happy about that. But I lock my daughter in the bedroom with some food and her iPad, and there's a bathroom in there, and she knows, do not come out unless you are choking or the house is on fire. That's it. Because I don't want anything crossed. And then if somebody were to use the bathroom, I would just literally sanitize every single surface from like where they would come up to the bathroom and then the entire bathroom. But I do also do that. I'm not in my house, but I do that in my studio before and after they come as well. Like every surface gets wiped with like basically like a bleach spray of some sort.
Yes. Can we talk about that, ladies? Because it takes me like 40 minutes to clean everything. It is crazy.
I don't have to deal with that.
I know you don't.
Yeah. It's a lot. What are you using, Jessica?
I am using a Lysol disinfectant spray for soft fabrics, because I have one, actually I have two. I have like a couch, and then I have some curtains that are fabric. So I have to do that on the soft. And then on hard surfaces, I have this thing called On the Mark, which is, I don't know, it's just a disinfectant spray. I just looked on Health Canada's thing, and they're all on there. So I assume it's doing its job. And then wipes.
Okay. So I have a fabric couch as well. And what I've been doing is I actually just take a clean piece of posing fabric and I put it over the couch because I was like, I don't know how to clean fabric. Yeah. And I typically stays on fabric for like maybe a few hours. And so basically I tell them when they're like, I do it right before they arrive. Like I sanitize my hands, put it on, they sit on it, it gets folded up and tossed in the laundry as soon as they leave. So that's what I've been doing to deal with fabric. Other than that,
that's a good idea too. And then I also don't have people coming in. My minimum is 3 days between people, although it's been more than that in reality.
Yeah.
For me anyway. Sorry, Lynsdey, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say I cover my couch as well. And I have I think for newborns, I'm guaranteeing right now 5 days in between. For headshots, 3 days, because like headshots are adults just coming in, they don't touch anything, they stand in front of the paper, and then they're out. So it's not as there's not as much touching going on. But yeah, I'm covering my couch too, but I'm not using it to photograph on.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess you probably do, Jessica, don't you?
Oh, the one I photograph on is vinyl. I can just spray it. Yes. Although I've been told by some dental people who work in the dental industry that spraying fabrics deteriorates them over time. So they're supposed to just do soap and water. So I'm going to try that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Soap and water on fabrics like vinyl or faux leather.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So much cleaning.
So let's talk about plans going forward, because I know we're approaching the fall season, which is also the possible school reopening season and the holiday season. So what are your thoughts? Like, what are your worries? What are your plans, if any? Let's share. If anybody wants to share.
I'm so
I will probably have to open my studio again at some point.
yeah.
So I'm going to shoot outside for as long as I can, basically. I can't even walk in my studio right now. It's a mess. So I'll have to deal with that. But fall family sessions will get me through October. And then I'm doing outdoor tree farm sessions this year. I'm debating whether or not to do indoor Christmas as well. I typically haven't done mini sessions for years. And now I'm doing lavender mini sessions. I put out a fall family special that's like sort of mini sessions. And I'll be doing the Christmas mini sessions. So that's been a big change for me, and just trying to make up for that lost income, make it accessible to people, and keep myself busy. So trying to adapt to that. And then for indoors, I'll have to move inside, obviously, in like November, December for newborns, and pick up that business at that time. My son is supposed to start JK this year. So we'll see if that happens or not. I was starting to look forward to him being in school and having that work time during the day. When he was little, I was like, no, I'm going to homeschool him and keep him home forever. But eventually I was like, okay, I could really use some time during the day.
Yes.
So I was starting to look forward to it. And now I'm like, I don't know, like it's not a super important year. It's not mandatory.
That's true.
Like, he's a pretty smart kid, and he's been learning a ton of stuff just on his own. He's like very self-directed. So the reason that I would mainly send him to school is for the social aspect. And if the kids are going to be, you know, kind of separated and not have that normal classroom environment, that's not really the first impression of school that I want him to have. So in that case, I just keep him home and we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Lynsdey, any fall or winter plans, or are you just avoiding? I'm avoiding personally.
Well, so like until I know what's going on with school, it's really hard for me to know what to do for September, October, November. It's been, we talked about this a little bit before we went live, but you know, like my husband's working full time out of the house, and actually even like extra hours, he's gone even in later. And it's been really hard to have, like, when do I work? I don't know when I'm working. And so to schedule clients in right now and not know it, like, so I should say I don't have, like, we don't have family close by or anything like that. So I've booked a couple things into September, and I don't know. I just don't know how to schedule people right now. So I'm still, or I'm not ready to like go gung ho with like announcing any mini sessions or, cause I just don't know what the fall, like I'm still available. So I'm still going to be booking. I just don't know exactly when, and I don't know what my calendar is going to look like. As far as, so I usually do Christmas sessions. I do this, or I have in the past, for the past 5 years, I do this, these truck Christmas sessions, and I have so many great clients that come. It's like a big thing that I've done for 5 years, and I won't be doing it this year. And so I'm sad about that. I won't be doing it for a couple reasons. Part of it is COVID. The other part is just some other things. But I just don't, personally, for me, doing like some props and stuff for mini sessions isn't what I want to do, just because of all the extra cleaning and protocols that I feel like I would need to have in place. So I do think I'll be doing like just tree farm with no props, just, you know, families enjoying each other kind of stuff. But I don't think I'm going to be booking that. Like, usually I'd be booking that right now.
Agreed. Yes.
July, August. And I'm not going to book until, I don't know when exactly, but into the fall, probably like later September, October, maybe I'll book if the numbers look like it's something we can actually do. Yes. I don't really want to get in the position of having all of these sessions paid for and then having to refund them all, or I don't know, you know. So sorry to say that, but if that was to happen.
True, though. That's so true. That's such a big deal. I know there was somebody, because everything shut down before Easter, there was a photographer that I know, you guys probably know her as well, but she had said that she basically had to refund thousands of dollars worth of Easter, because then how is it relevant anymore, right, if you can't do it? And I was like, oh my God, that made me feel so sick to my stomach. Like, how terrible.
Yeah.
And what about you, Tamarind? Do you usually do any kind of fall or holiday specials or?
Yeah, I do Christmas minis, and like I usually make between like $8,000 and $10,000 off them every year. So it's like I'm really struggling on letting that one go. Obviously safety is a huge deal, and like Lynsdey said, like I don't want to be taking all these deposits and then being like, oh no, now I have to refund everybody. So one of the things that I've toyed with, or am toying with, is the idea of doing a round of them in late August. So before the kids go back to school, because I think that's going to be the turning point. Depending on how it happens and what goes on, I think we're really going to see a lot about what's going to happen with this virus in September, when the kids, you know, if most of them go back to school, and then are the numbers up, are we going to get a second wave of this, you know, how that's all going to look. So I'm kind of hoping to squeeze in some before, but obviously I'm not going to do them back to back like normal. Like normally I'd book them every 30 minutes and they'd be 20-minute shoots. So I may do like one every hour to give myself a good like 40 minutes to, you know, air everything out, spray some sanitizer, wash everything that needs to be washed, minimal props, no fabrics that need to be touched because I can't wash them in between because there's not enough time. I have put out a thing to like my VIP group on Facebook that has like a whole bunch of my clients on it, to see like what kind of people were thinking about that. And a lot of people were actually really open to the idea of doing it in August, because I think for the same reason, they're afraid that like, because like, cool, let's wait. But then if we have another shutdown, then you don't even get Christmas photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe your baby is 7 months in August and is going to be 10 months in November. So that sucks, but maybe it might be the difference between Christmas photos or no Christmas photos. We don't know. So but I'm still struggling because safety, you know.
And those Christmas photo clients are hardcore Christmas photo clients. So it's,
yes.
I know for me, I have to figure something out, because there's going to be a lot of disappointment.
I know. I do love the idea of the outdoor ones. So normally I do like a setup in studio that can include the parents, and then a setup just for the kids. So, but I've actually been more uncomfortable with parents taking off their masks. Like for newborns, when I've had to photograph the parents, it's probably the only time they've taken off their masks. But for some reason, that's made me more uncomfortable than dealing with a newborn or, you know, a kid, because generally parents talk more, or there's more chance that they've been exposed to more just generally. So I may only do kids in the studio. I don't know. I got to figure it out. Again, it's trying to figure out the balance between like, you know, trying to cash in on it because it's a huge money maker and making up for money that was lost, but also keeping safe. And
Agreed.
It's exhausting trying to figure it out.
It is. It's hard. It's very uncertain. And yeah, like I always say, we don't even know what's going to be happening next week. Although I know Tara and Lynsdey, your regions are going into stage 3 this Friday in Ontario. And is yours included, Tamarind, in the move to the next phase?
I'm already in stage 3.
Oh, right. You're already, okay.
Yeah. We were the first ones to open for stage 3, like the first group. So.
All right. I will be the last.
Yes.
That's all right.
Well, although I heard that like Windsor was doing worse actually than Toronto.
Oh, well, we'll probably be, whenever they go back, we'll go. Not that it's going to really change how I'm doing anything in terms of business.
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't find stage 3 actually changes a ton of things. Stage 2 did. But stage 3 is mostly like, okay, so now you can eat inside of a restaurant, or I feel like there was some other things, but there was nothing like, it wasn't like, yeah.
I think it was
Didn't seem like as much.
an increase in 10 from 10 to up to 50 people, I think it was, in an inside gathering. Is what I read for our Ontario.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was,
which is bonkers to me. I can't imagine going somewhere with that many people inside.
Well, I think it's supposed to still be distanced from them, but yeah, who knows how that goes, right? Oh, and gyms opening, or some, I think some of them did. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
Too late.
Oh, I'm just checking the comments. So we have Priscilla, Renato Camara Jimenez joining us, and she says, "Hello, pretty ladies." And Nurlan Panjvani says hello. And Katie Lintern has a question or a comment. She says she purchased a True HEPA air purifier and has it running before, during, and after her sessions. So have any of you been using air purifiers or thinking about it? I mean, I'll chime in, and I actually got one just because my studio has very tiny windows because it's in the basement. So I thought it would be, even if it doesn't filter out everything, it'll help circulate the air, which it does. So is this something that you've invested in or have looked into or are looking into? No.
I don't have one yet because, like I said, I'm not having, it's definitely not high traffic through my studio. So it's only it's very limited numbers right now. It's something I've thought about for as I do need to get, a little bit more back to normal. I've read conflicting things on the effectiveness, so I'm still unsure, but I'm still looking into it, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So I do have one. I did the same thing, Jessica, kind of the same reason. My studio is also in the basement, so just to get rid of any sort of musty smell or whatever. Now, one of the things that I came across recently, so in terms of like the size of particles that they filter out, right? I can't remember what it is. So whatever size it is. So the virus is actually smaller than that.
Yes.
However, and this was brought to my attention, I think I saw something like yesterday about it, and I thought, well, duh, that's like so smart. So the virus actually isn't just floating around in the air by itself, right? So it has to be carried on our spit.
Yes.
And chances are our spit is bigger than the, you know what I mean? Like the size, do you know where I'm going with this? Yeah. So that kind of makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I do. I have the same. I have it going before, during, and after my session. I have it near my shooting area so that it's closest to the clients. My whole area is pretty small, but and I figure anything that may help feels good.
Yes.
Although also other precautions, obviously.
Yes. And Katie just responded that her studio is also in a tiny basement. So I guess she also got it for just increasing the circulation of the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great idea that she did that.
Okay. So we've talked about reopening, going forward. So to end, is there anything new that you learned during the time off or are learning, or anything you did on your downtime that you are going to continue doing? I know Tamarind started a whole self-portrait series. Are you continuing that, or was that kind of just for when you were a little freer in time-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing it because I've been, again, trying to catch up on all the past clients that couldn't come. But I definitely, like when I get some ideas, I definitely will continue it because it was really fun. And I don't know, it was just kind of a neat, different way to kind of express myself with my camera, which is kind of cool.
How about you two? Baking bread? Continuing? Anybody?
So something like interesting or unique, just as we shut down, like in the first couple weeks, I found out that I was awarded a grant from the Ontario government to do a bunch of online marketing.
That's amazing.
That's fantastic.
That was really cool. It was weird because it was really when everything was like going crazy, so it's hard to be like excited about it because there's so much like bad stuff going on. So I kind of I don't think I like have mentioned it at all anywhere or anything. But anyways, as we came out of the fog of all the bad stuff happening, I was able to, like, I'm working with a I've worked with an SEO consultant. I've been working with a social media consultant. I've hired a stylist who's going to help me. I'm going to be doing some new photographs of like all my products, and I have a stylist working with me for that because I'm really bad at styling stuff. And so I've been doing, so it was hard. I'm not going to pretend like I was doing tons of work while we were shut down because it was just mentally really hard. But I was plugging away at some of it. And now in the last few weeks, I've been really getting up and going. So I've been working on, all this digital marketing stuff, and I'll be working on that through the end of the summer. And hopefully that'll help, get my business kind of rolling again into the fall and winter and stuff. So that's been kind of cool. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Tara, anything you'd like to share? New hobbies you've taken up, or maybe a new photo course, or?
Not really. But what I was doing was updating my website. So I had invested in new branding just before everything shut down, and kind of like a week or two into being closed, they sent me the final package with all of my stuff. And I was like, oh. So it took me a while to get into it, but I started just updating my website and refreshing my galleries. I've really refined my style over the last year and a bit. So just taking out old stuff that didn't fit with that anymore, and doing a few blog posts, because I looked at my last blog post and it's like years ago, and I'm like, oh, I don't shoot like that anymore. So trying to make stuff look like what clients can expect if they hire me now. And implementing that new branding, getting my logo switched out everywhere. I did actually do a little mini free, it was like an online 7-day SEO mini course. So that really helped me get my website just clean and polished, and hopefully running a little bit better, and getting rid of stuff that wasn't working. I can't even remember everything that I did now, but I can post a link maybe. I think it's like an ongoing 7-day thing. You can sign up anytime, and then there's a Facebook group where you just like post your results of what you've done. So that was challenging at times, but helpful, hopefully. And you get some good insights into how your website is working. So I found it pretty interesting. Cool. Yeah, and then just photographing my son. Like, I have photos of him from when he was a baby. Pull out the big camera every once in a while, and I like never process anything. So I actually really enjoyed working on images of my son, taking photos of him, like seeing how the light works in our house, getting out in the backyard. And like, I thought our backyard was nothing special, but I found all these little pockets of amazing light to photograph in. So just seeing our own house and backyard in a new way was interesting. And working with a kid who does not want me to take his photos. And just being able to work around that and, practice my skills and finding things that work to get the attention of a 4-year-old, or just to get a 4-year-old engaged in something where I can take his photo where he's not really paying attention to me. So it's good.
They've been beautiful. I've seen them, and Tara just shared her Instagram underneath in the comments. So if you want to check out some of the work of her son and her beautiful outdoor newborns, you can check it out there.
There's a whole section of Isaac stuff, and that's all he's shooting.
Well, I think we've caught up with everybody on how business is going during this whole COVID pandemic of 2020. And I'm sure I'd love to connect with you again, maybe after the fall, and after we've kind of seen where things are. It'll be interesting to see where everybody's at. And if you are going ahead with any fall and holiday sessions, or if we've had to shut down again. So that'll be interesting. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you to all our viewers for coming and listening, and for your comments. Until next time, I think we will see you again soon.
All right. Thanks, Jess.
So I'm going to stop the live.
All right.
And
there we go.